meaning, do we have it on record, so do we know it? Or new, we close to it? That's great. Okay, it'll go off. How does the viewfinder in the Linux look to you? You know that better than I. My son that just came to me and I don't really know yet. What model is yours? Oh, dude. I don't know when that changed. How many times you want to report it? 7, but that's all right. You know, like that's on. Is it? It's a nice addition. It's a lower profile than the big Sony's in the world. They've got stricter second point chip. They have this, but they have the gimbal, right? The onboard gimbal, which is pretty cool. Here, in fact, I haven't turned it off. And what I found is when they're on a tripod, some anomaly, minor vibration happens, and it starts to autocorrect, and it starts going nuts, and it actually goes through, and it's sitting there oscillating. And it's, I just discovered this watching YouTube the other day. You can, and I've never bothered to, but I should be now because it's they're designed to shoot your daughter's graduation. And that's the and I don't
Okay. Welcome to the new World Deli. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to me. At the edge of the platform, staring out at the tracks, looking for a plume of smoke that's never coming back. You remind me of someone who forgot to choose between a brand new day and the Pennsylvania station blues. It takes more than a ticket to ever really know. It takes more than the big board changing over just before you go. If it was up to me, you know what I would choose. But I'm not the one with the Pennsylvania station blues. You can always tell the amateurs from the ringers by the aching in their hearts, the calluses still on their fingers. It's a long way to fall. It's a long way to peace of mind from anywhere at all. But if you think about it, all you have to lose is the cold wind brought to you by the Pennsylvania station blues. And you can always tell the amateurs from the ringers by the aching in their hearts, the calluses still on their fingers. Thank you. Some folks are lucky and they sleep through the night. Some play the lottery and never get it right. I'm in the kitchen with a hammer and a nail, trying to hang a happy ending on the end of my tail. I might still be here when the last bell rings. I might stick around till the soprano sings. Betting on the paint cards, betting on the junk. I never did know when it was time to pack my trunk. The 10 kinds of mud he made by 10 kinds of rain. 10 miles of broken track for 10 broken trains. The 10 ways to look at it, each of them a drag. 10 pounds of trouble, nothing but a 5-pound bag. Don't ask me to tell you what it's all about. If I knew that, I'd be the hook and not the trout. Sitting on the bank instead of dancing on the line, looking at the way the sun filters through the pines. 10 kinds of mud he made by 10 kinds of rain. 10 miles of broken track for 10 broken trains. 10 ways to look at it, each of them a drag. 10 pounds of trouble, nothing but a 5-pound bag. Nothing but a 5-pound bag. Thank you. What's that? Do I need to turn that up here? Okay. One, two. Is that better, Chris? Or is that like just far too much of me than you'd ever want? Seem to feel the same. It's such a mystery, baby, what you do to me. You know it makes me wanna weep and moan beneath your window with a saxophone and tell you in every key, baby, what you do to me. wish I could do that without looking at my fingers. I'm working on it. Can I assume it's just an oversight? You haven't met me in the pale moonlight. Maybe then you'd see, baby, what you do to me. Last night I dreamed that you were at my door in just a necklace and a new shampoo. Woke up in misery, baby, what you do to me. Thank you. Kate Berry, you made it to the show. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Asking if it's a Collings. Yes, I brought the Collings. It's all right, for those of you who enjoy this sort of thing. It's a 2001 0028H. No, that's not what they call it. They call it an O2H. They call it something so it doesn't sound exactly like the Martin one, but that's what it is. It's based on a 1929 Martin 00, and the top is some kind of spruce. I don't know which one. And the back is some kind of rosewood. Ditto, don't know what kind. Joins the body at the 12th fret. As Bill Collings famously said, what's the fuss about the 12th fret neck? I could play everything I know with 3 frets. And that's the deal with the guitar. And now, fittingly, here's a Saturday night drinking song for hothouse intellectuals like me. Well, I'm 4 shots into my Saturday night. I've been better, but I feel alright. I'm not leaving this place till I get at least 3 fiddles short of a string quartet. So bring me bourbon and bring me rye, till I can't tell the difference even if I tried. Barbarians at the gate, if they want my boat, they're in for a very long wait. They don't care down at the mall what the sheepskin says up on my wall, and the lack of space inside my head disqualifies anything I might have said. So bring me the strongest stuff in the house, 'cause there's a wildfire burning no logic can douse. Barbarians at the gate, circle the chariots, maybe it's not too late. might turn out alright. Check out the talent stepping up to the mic, falling all over each other to prove who can lay down the most xenophobic groove. So bring me a bottle, 'cause I'm not done knocking off my gray cells one by one. I won't be needing them anyway if things keep going the way they did today. Thank you. I'm a sundial holding still, watching the light traverse the windowsill. My Roman numerals won't leave a trace upon the shadows gathered around this place. When the cicadas decide to sing, come back and see me, I won't be doing anything. Model rocket in the grass, no destination but the recent past. Payload and parachute lost in the fall, into the shrubs by the retaining wall. When the cathedral bells start to ring, come back and see me, I won't be doing anything. I've been patient, been discreet about the lichen growing around my feet. It's been a point of pride, but even so, time changes everything. I should know when the barn owl is on the wing. Come back and see me, I won't be doing anything. Come back and see me, I won't be doing anything. Thank you. There's an awful lot of you here. Thank you for coming. I know it's mostly the tuna melts, but still. I won't lie, I had one too. And wisely, only half of it, which is kind of a first. We're still trying to climb down from the holidays in my house. You know, everyone, you know, around this time of year, we're like, bring the lettuce leaf and the distilled water. I will eat it and nothing else. And then it's like, oh, it's still someone's birthday or there's still some party or something. Right now, one of my kids is holding a 12-hour Lord of the Rings extended cut marathon back at the house. And I think by 1:30 they'd gotten through the first one. And I was like, will you call me when they get to an extended cut part? He was like, Dad, I'm not running out every 5 minutes just because there's like 3 extra seconds of Gimli swinging his axe. I was like, what kind of son are you? Where's the devotion? So I'm going to have to find out later what got extended. I'm really kind of at a loss for what it could have been. But I had some stuff I had to get done today, so I couldn't participate. I mean, anything, and I couldn't. I know, right? Bummer. Okay. No, I need this guy. Checking in tonight. The train was late and on the platform all their bags lie scattered in the moonlight. Somewhere between the station and the hotel gate they lost their way, so if you're staying up it's sure to be a long and lonely wait. Lonely wait. The heirs of Shangri-La will not be gazing out to sea from the crumbling marble folly where the poppy gardens used to be. Somewhere between the summer and the falling leaves they must have had a change of heart, and this is all we're ever likely to receive. Likely to receive. Just an echo on the breeze that whispers through the tangled branches of the last remaining olive trees. Somewhere between the morning of the world and now, they left their footprints in the sand for us to follow, but we had never quite learned how. Never quite learned how. When they invent a tuner that fixes the note in the middle of the song, then I'll be impressed with the technology. I try to keep the guitar nerd jokes to a minimum, but I do remember like maybe 20 years ago they came out with a self-tuning electric guitar that cost like $5,000 and had these little sensors and then little like rotors and things. And supposedly it would tune while you were playing, but I did not get one. And I still don't have one. And so 20 years later, I'm still making jokes about tuning the guitar, which is pretty weak, actually, if you think about it. It's optional, exactly. Haven't made any capo jokes yet, though. I feel like I'm on the plus side of the ledger right now. All right. Fun fact, we're also, I think, are we successfully live streaming tonight? My goodness. Are they getting the tuna melt too? Robert Borowitz over here helping out with that part of the tech. My buddy Chris Green over here helping out with that part of it. If you hunt carefully enough, you can find clips of some of these past shows online on Chris's site. And I'm going to start posting some of them on my site soon. But that doesn't really matter to you because you're actually here, so you don't need to watch stuff online. But if you are watching online, thanks for being there. And as you may have noticed, I cannot respond at all to anything you're saying in the chat, so say whatever you want. I like the early stuff better. It was really cool before he sold out and started playing the new World Deli. Just go nuts with the chat. Is it you, or is it me? Or are we both too close for either one of us to see? Standing on the corner, looking at the rain, try to get over. I hate when I forget the words. No sun above when you got no love anymore. Is it true, or is it like you thought? And only Boy Scouts and sailors have any business tying the knot. Think about it, baby, don't take too long, or soon it won't matter if you're right or wrong. No sun above if you got no love anymore. position, staying in the shape we're in. Deep muddy river with slippery banks. Don't wanna cross over if you get no thanks. No sun above if you got no love anymore. No sun above if you got no love anymore. Thank you. I'd like to go from my wife's least favorite song to one of her favorites. Texas, baby, where the sun shines every day. And anytime it doesn't, I just look the other way. 'Cause I've been gone too long from home to have the Travis County blues. If you've never been there, let me tell you something. If you haven't been there yet, it's like all you've ever dreamed of, and that's all you're gonna get when you've been gone too long from home to have the Travis County blues. The way it's supposed to, and nothing goes the way it ought to go. From every gravel parking lot in town, you can hear the Missouri and Pacific blow. So if you'll be my starlet, I'll be your millionaire. And if you'll whistle Dixie, I'll dance like Fred Astaire. 'Cause I've been gone too long from home to have the Travis County blues. I've been gone too long from home to have the Travis County blues. Thank you. So I made this record last February with my friend Brett Boyer, who's right down here in the front. Outstanding musician and wonderful producer. And it's not his fault that it hasn't come out yet. The fault is entirely mine. I'm slow on the back end. Anyway, it's a totally instrumental record, which I've only done once before, and this one is on there, and it's called Parisian Blues. Thank you. When I lived in New York, I spent part of my time being a guitar teacher, and my favorite student was this guy who was an actuary from Albany, New York. And he would come to his lessons still dressed in his actuary outfit. And then he would sit down for the lesson and he would pull out this piece of paper and unfold it from his pocket. And he would say, okay, so I was wondering, when you're doing this, are you thinking about it this way or that way? Anyway, we became really good friends because who wouldn't want to be friends with someone who wanted to know how you did things and why? Also because he was my last student of the night, and in the cash economy of Brooklyn in the 1990s, that meant I had enough money to go down the street with Jim afterwards and have dinner, and at the time, what I thought was a pretty good margarita. Yeah, I learned. And we were talking the other day on the phone, and he said, you know, was Jerry Reed ever one of your guys? Was that like an influence? And I was like, see, the problem was I would hear about these guys, but it was really hard to find their records. Ditto for like all the great Chicago blues guys. Like I knew who Muddy Waters was, but I didn't have any of his records. And anyway, like the fundamental foundational problem was that I was living in a suburb outside of Massachusetts, 10 miles from Harvard University, which is not the bluesiest environment to grow up in. I mean, it was great, but it was not bluesy. So when I started trying to learn these songs, when I finally heard them, I was like, I can't sing about mules kicking in my stall. It's just too big a stretch. Anyway, eventually I moved to Austin, and during the great everyone must have chickens moment in the early 2000s, we had some chickens, and I was like, now here's some barnyard fowl, like here's like some actual farm animals I can probably get away with. I think I can probably sing about chickens. Chicken up in the hen house, one chicken out in the yard, one chicken down at the railroad station sitting in the dining car. Why don't you want me, baby? That's all I need to know. Why won't you have me, baby, when you know I love you so? Chicken went to the duck pond, and one chicken went next door. One chicken went to Galveston, and he didn't come back no more. What is it that makes you hesitate? What is it that makes you run? Why won't you have me, baby, when you know that I'm the one? can bet just a quarter, one bet 50 cents. One chicken folded with aces high, 'cause he can only count to 10. You don't have to give me a holler, baby, you don't have to give me a ring. If you just give me the time of day, I'd do most anything. What is that? What is FS? FS, well, everybody spells it differently, but it's the fingerstyle 5. That's, oh, what do they call it? They call it a platform. That's my online teaching platform, Bob. In the middle there, I snuck in one of the songs that we've done called Jack of Diamonds. That's what's called a medley in the business. So I'm told. Never liked the word medley. It reminds me of fruit medley from elementary school on the plastic tray. Like the pears and the syrup and then the maraschino cherry. It's like too many different textures going on at once. Not into the medley. Breaking into shards, but isn't safe is surely scarred. Medusa in a parted dress. So play another saraband. When the dawn will come again is really anybody's guess. Gather up the pieces, all the darkness will allow. Put the fragments in a box and hold it till the equinox. It's all we've got for now. It's all we've got for now. What isn't safe is surely scarred. Beneath the willow tree the guards throw knives at shadows in the dirt. Printer's devil, printer's whore. What seemed indelible before will vanish if you're not alert. Gather up the pieces, all the darkness will allow. Put the fragments in a box and hold it till the equinox. It's all we've got for now. It's all we've got for now. Beneath the willow tree, the guards have turned to throwing tarot cards. Count to 10 before you look. It seemed indelible before. And then I forgot the words again. And they were really good, and they really put a punchline on the end of the whole thing. Gather up the pieces, all the darkness will allow. Just have to come back next time. It's all we've got for now. greatness. All right, here's another instrumental tune. When I was a kid, one of the few guitar records I could get was a duet record by John Renbourn and Stefan Grossman. And I felt a little guilty that I didn't have records. Wow, this is feeding back like crazy. I felt a little guilty that I didn't have records by like Robert Johnson and Gary Davis and all those people. But I had records by all the guys who learned from them in the 1960s. So I got it all kind of secondhand. And then it is tuned down the whole time. That's why it's out of tune so much. Thanks for asking, Pete. Peter Kane, everybody. Go see him at the Carousel, first Wednesday of the month. It's really quite a star-studded night here at the New World Deli. There are countless awesome musicians. Go see Eddie Collins do the Bluegrass open mic here on Thursdays. Tysko, do you have any shows coming up? Okay, moving on. When Tysko Del Rey has a show, go see him. Man, okay, so Tysko, this will make you feel better. There's this guy online, this great guitar teacher named Tony, and he did this like roundup of acoustic guitar lesson websites. And so he included mine, and he started by saying, now this guy's great. I've been following him since I was a kid. And like, I've been reading Tysko since I was a kid, so this Tony punk better watch out for you, man, because you've got the goods on him. Anyway, I was going to say something about this next song, and now so I had these records by Stefan. So my guitar teacher had this really super hip guitar teacher named Jeff Wyman in high school, and his hobby was he was arranging the Bach inventions for solo classical guitar, like both parts, and he could just it was crazy cool, and I couldn't do it. And, he eventually finished it, I think, like 20 years later, but man, this is feeding back like bonkers. Anyway, he taught me that guitar tune, Angie, right? He taught me like 8 bars, and I was like, I practiced it all week. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. Is there more? He was like, that's the only one like that I know. I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. I said, where do I get that one? He's like, Paul Simon, it's on a Simon and Garfunkel record. Because Simon and Garfunkel, Paul Simon had gone to England in the early 60s and met, this sucks, hang on. This is okay. That's okay, I'm just gonna turn on the monitors. I like hearing a ton of me in the monitors, but it's feeding back like crazy, so I can't get what I want, and that's just too bad for me. Anyway, I went to the mall with my mom to get the Simon and Garfunkel record because he'd learned the song from, who's the guy who wrote it? David Graham wrote Angie originally. This is a British guitar player. And so I went to find the Simon and Garfunkel record, and then I was going through the folk ghetto in the back of the Strawberries record store, like the one bin with the 10 folk records at the mall. And they had this Stefan Grossman and John Renbourn record. I knew who they were because I had Guitar Player magazine, and they had just done a feature on them. And all I knew about John Renbourn was he had like a Guild guitar and he smoked a Gaulois, and he looked fucking cool. And I was like, I want to learn what that guy's doing. So I bought the record and then found out that those were the guys, that John Renbourn was one of the guys who learned directly from Davy Graham. So just cut Paul Simon out of the loop completely. I got that record, and that had this song. The second one had a song. The second one I got the second one first. They made a first record, I got that one first. And it had this song on it that went like this, which was just ridiculous. It had this little bass line, but it kept kind of wrapping around funny. And I was like, that's pretty cool, man. I want to learn how to do that. And then it kept going, and one guy started going. And I was like, stop the presses. How does that work? So I had to learn how to do that. And anyway, at the end of the record, they did this song called Mississippi Blues, which had been recorded in Pete, you're going to have to help me out, 1942, William Brown, is that right? Yeah, this guy, William Brown, made 4 tracks all together, sides, I believe the blues aficionados call them, 4 sides. And one of them was this ridiculous blues that sounded like nobody else. And everybody played it in the 60s because it was like this cool instrumental. And so if you were like a guy like Stefan Grossman who didn't sing, you needed a tune with a melody, you learned Mississippi Blues. And it's really hard to play, so I found I was like, I gotta write a blues in A that's not Mississippi Blues so I can actually remember it. And so this is that one. Wasn't that worth it? All right, I fished for that one. Thank you. Great thing about not covering a classic is no one knows if you mess it up. Hillary and Stewart, did you show up? Hillary and Stewart, Flying A's, they're also here. Are you playing here anytime soon? February, go see the Flying A's at the New World Deli. Well, come back, don't go. Just go and then don't stay the whole time. Go, come back, check them out. They're awesome. My senior year of college, I lived in a house with this guy named John, and he had the best record collection of all time and a 1957 Martin 0018, which I didn't know quite how amazing a guitar that was until a week before my senior recital when Albert Ginsberg came to town and needed a backup band because he was going to sing his poems and play the harmonium, and he wanted a guitar player. And like the good guitar player that everybody called for these things was like, actually had a gig. So I got this call, and I was like, no, I can't. I have a rehearsal for my senior thesis concert. And they were like, it's Albert Ginsberg. I was like, okay, fine. And then like 10 years later, I saw a picture of Paul McCartney playing bass with Albert Ginsberg, and I was like, I guess that was a pretty good gig. Because now I've like, basically, after I couldn't do it, they called Paul, evidently. Anyway, I got this email from John saying that he lived in New York, but when he was a kid, they lived in California, and he and his friends used to drive into the Death Valley, and they would drive to Mexico and do all kinds of things that I like I thought it was kind of a big deal to go buy records in Harvard Square, and they were freaking driving to Mexico together. And just anyway, he was a pretty cool dude. And anyway, he wrote to all of his friends. And he was like, "We're going to try to come to Texas to see the eclipse in April." And I was like, we're going to go see the eclipse at a music festival. So I may finally be doing something cooler than you are. I'm gonna see if they want to come too, but at least I get a little high ground for like a couple of minutes. Oh yeah. So this is a song about music, unfortunately. Everybody's got to have one or two. And I just have to remember what key I'm doing it in tonight, because that kind of changes from time to time. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, I would love a water. How did you know? Did I look thirsty? I feel thirsty. I shouldn't say that. That's like some kind of slang the kids use now, and I don't know how to really use it right. I have a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old, two of them. And they know all the slang, but they swear they're using it ironically. But I get sucked into using it because it's funny, right? And so, but I promise not to say that anything is lit, ever. Thank you. You're welcome. One more time, Robert Borowitz. He brings a mean bottle of water. And if you're out there in streaming land, thanks for watching. No, that's too high, isn't it? There we go. It's a problem having an instrument that actually has more than one key on it. There's so many choices. I wish I understood. It's supposed to be so good. Why is it going on so long? And why is it called an aria instead of a song? Why are they repeating all the words? Using ones I've never heard. Someone's waving a baton, and I have no idea what the hell is going on at the opera. I guess I'm just a Philistine at the opera. Couldn't they just say what they mean? Yes, you're singing very high, especially for a guy, and so many notes. How can all of that come out of one person's throat? Die, already go ahead and die. I saw it with my own two eyes. They stabbed you fair and square, but you're still going on about it like I even care at the opera. Guess I'm just a Philistine at the opera. Couldn't we just listen to some Queen? Thank you. I played that for my friend Andrew when he was, I cannot read that from here. What does it say? Need booze. Can't, clearly, no. Drink early and often is my motto for the gig. But thank you. What a sweetheart. Kate Berry, everybody, looking out for me and my best interests. And yours. Yeah, I played that for my friend Andrew when he was in the graduate program in composition at the University of Texas. And he said, "What did the opera ever do to you?" I said, "It didn't do anything for me. That's the problem." But this next song, I went to Arvada, Texas last summer to teach at a guitar workshop. Actually, I wasn't going to say where I did this just so I didn't incriminate anybody, but I played this song, and the next morning I heard that according to the stage manager, they didn't ever want to hear anything like that again on their stage. According to one school of thought, that means I'm definitely on the right track. No spitting, no spurs, don't tug on the mane. It's cash in advance, come sun or come rain. Please stop by the desk at the end of your ride, so we can make sure you've been satisfied. Leave behind all of your troubles and tragedies up at Miss Henderson's Riding Academy. So far, so good, right? Most of the regulars, each time they call, head without fail to their favorite stall. But there are a few with ambitions so tall, they won't be content till they've ridden them all. No knowledge required of a horse's anatomy up at Miss Henderson's Riding Academy. Take pride in their skill in the saddle will be pleased to know that our staff never tattles. You hit the home stretch sooner than most. It's just between you and the filly you chose. So next time you feel lonely or just a bit low, and you find yourself with an hour or so, there's a place on the hill of established repute where you can partake of an age-old pursuit. You'll think you're defying the laws of gravity up at Miss Henderson's Riding Academy. You're defying the laws of gravity. Well, you keep dogging me around, trying to bend my ear, just to tell me something you know I don't wanna hear. Just let me be, don't you tailgate me. You see, none of this would have happened without you and your big ideas. And next time you do best to keep them parked between your ears. I'll count to 3, don't you tailgate me. Don't cross the street to say hello, don't try to shake my hand. Don't turn up on my doorstep, man, 'cause I won't let you in. You wanna make it up to me, that's what you wanna do. You wanna know how to make me happy, I'll spell it out for you. It starts with T, don't you tailgate me. Cross the street to say hello, don't try to shake my hand. Don't turn up on my doorstep, man, 'cause I won't let you in. This is where the story ends, at least for me, my friend. You can go on telling it, just as long as I'm not in your company. Don't you tailgate me. A lot funnier without the mistakes. Thank you. What's that? Yeah, nobody knows about it. Yeah, in 6th grade, I had to give a report, like one of those, like stand up in front of the class things, and I remember the teacher saying, like, don't get up and like call out like ahead of time, like, oh, I'm not prepared, or like I don't feel that great today, or like this report's really not going to kind of suck. Like, don't try to manage expectations ahead of time, and so definitely don't call out your mistakes. Although there was this band in New York called the Five Chinese Brothers who would play on stage, and when they did, like if they made a mistake, they'd be like, you know, they'd just flag it right there in the middle of the gig. Yeah, this was years before My Bad was invented, but that was what it meant. Yeah.
Like it's okay then.
Well, they watched a lot of baseball. They were calling their errors basically. So, yeah, Five Chinese Brothers. There were 5 of them, but they weren't brothers and they weren't Chinese. But you probably couldn't call your band that now anyway, unless you really were. What's it? No, straight to a little after 8:30. Spoiler. Thanks for. I saw someone pass around the tip jar, but if it missed you, it's up there. It's right. Oh, for heaven's sake. Well, that's in front of the camera. That's no good. Here, let me just. Would someone mind putting this back behind over by the bar there? Thanks, Peter. Just over behind Eddie's. Anyway, there it is, the tip jar. If you missed it. When my daughter was little, she would come to these gigs at Central Market with the family, and she didn't know that not everybody was gonna tip. So she'd just stand in front of people and wait. The only thing that would have made it better is if she was like holding a little puppy. Anyway, if you're watching on the stream, there's, I think down below there's like a Venmo or a PayPal, and there's no escape. The tip jar. Well, I got a couple more songs here. Really, I feel like it's kind of delightful to actually not know who everybody is. That I feel like that is some kind of threshold that you cross when you don't actually know everybody in the audience. I'm really tickled that you're all here, including the people that I do know. I'm not trying to. It's nice to have everybody here. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back the first Saturday of the month for the rest of the winter and spring. So I think for next time I'm going to learn some new songs, maybe. But, instead of playing, man, I saw Richard Thompson. Where did we see him? Was it at the Ballroom? We saw him play solo, and someone kept calling out for Vincent Black Lightning. And he was like, "Yeah, let me just get through some of the boring new ones first, and then we'll do the hits." Step one, have some hits. I'm working on that one. All right, here's another instrumental tune. This is from the record that is not out yet, but will be soon. It goes like this. Thank you very much. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I think I did all the shout outs. Did I miss anybody who's got a gig coming up at the New World Deli or anywhere else for that matter? And the feedback. Thanks again to Bob over here and Chris over here for doing all the stuff. And thanks to everyone at the New World Deli. This is a really, really fun place to play. So come on down. Come down to the Bluegrass open mic. Super fun, and everything else going on. The Bluegrass open mic is every other Thursday. Second Thursday here, right here. Like picture guys doing like this and like this, and this, and maybe some of this, and all of this. So yeah, he was a multi-instrumentalist. Yeah, and there's open mic. There's a regular open mic, not a non-bluegrass open mic, on Monday nights. Although I guess you could play bluegrass at it. I mean, they wouldn't stop you, would they? How long is the arm of the Bluegrass Police? That's what we all want to know. Not as long as the arm of or as mighty as the arm of the Jazz Police, that's for sure. Those guys can really kick some ass. But I digress, as usual. There's some records up there as well, and since you probably don't want them, you can also find it on Spotify and on Bandcamp. So go find them if you want them. And good Lord, really should have stopped about 5 minutes ago here with the talking. But really, thanks for being here. And this song is off of my record, Pennsylvania Station Blues, and it goes like this. Love and applesauce, I just wanna be the boss. Lay my head down on the moss. Peace, love, and applesauce. Peace, love, and ginger beer. Let me just make one thing clear. The only thing we need around here. Peace, love, and ginger beer. That is not a lot to ask. That is not a weighted task. That seems reasonable to me. How about it? Can't you see? Peace, love, and candy corn. I'm so glad that I was born. I'm going to learn the English horn. Peace, love, and candy corn. Send it in the mail, I'll receive it without fail. Back the truck up to the door, I'll be grateful evermore. Peace, love, and all of that. Stick a feather in my hat and curl up like an old house cat. Peace, love, and all of that.
Thank you. Good night.